just got done watching the WWDC virtual keynote. It was absolutely amazing. Now I say this because the past few years I've actually got a chance to go to WWDC and be there and witness it in person. Now this definitely wasn't a replacement for being there in person, but what I think they did with this keynote is they made it feel like everyone was actually there. So actually having been to Apple Park and getting to see all of these really cool places, it felt a lot more inclusive. It felt like you guys were actually getting to experience what we experienced there in person. So Apple, amazing job in the keynote. I really enjoyed it and I hope that you guys did too. Now let's do a quick recap of everything that they talked about in the keynote. Are you ready? I think I am. All right, let's get into it. First up, we have iOS 14. One of the most exciting things about WWDC, we've seen widgets before, but now you can take those widgets and completely integrate them into your home screen. This does have a very Android feel. I know as soon as I tweeted this, everyone's like, welcome to Android. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Okay, maybe you're right, but I'm still excited about it. They call this the Smart Stack. The widgets are intelligently curated based on the apps you use the most, and the right widget will show up automatically at the right time of your day. This is the all-new app library, so it'll automatically organize all of your apps into one simple, easy to navigate view. I can't believe that it's taken them this long to do this. I search for everything, so I swipe down and I search for the app that I'm looking for. So the new app library view looks pretty cool. You guys know when you get a phone call or a FaceTime and it completely takes over your entire home screen? Well, now they have compact calls, so calls from your phone, FaceTime, or third-party apps that'll display in an all-new compact design that doesn't take up the full screen. Way overdue. Picture-in-picture is a huge update that I think is gonna be really helpful for all of us who like to watch a lot of content and also try to get work done at the same time. So you can still watch your content while you're doing other things on your phone. There's been a lot of updates to messages. This is something that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, pinned conversations. You can pin up to 9 of your most important conversations to the top of your conversation list, so you can easily get to them. And if these are group chats, you've got little pop-up notifications on these groups to see who replied the latest. So this kind of gives you a really quick look at what the conversations are actually happening without having to click in. Mentions is also really exciting because a lot of times you'll be in a group chat and you'll kind of want to be conversing with everybody, but also direct that message to someone specific. I feel like at one point you've probably been overwhelmed in group messages and need to reply to a specific topic, but that topic has long gone. They have inline replies, so you can reply directly to a specific message in a group conversation or as their own thread for a more focused view. So you can click into it and see that entire thread of the inline conversation to make it so much easier to be able to have conversations inside of a group text. It gets hectic. There's new Memoji styles and stickers. You can get a new age option. You can choose from 20 new hair and headwear styles to reflect your hobby, profession, and personality. They now have a Memoji with a face mask. I think this is amazing. And I think if you have a face mask, you should wear it. There's really no reason you shouldn't. Just wear the mask. I can't wait to put a Memoji mask on my face. They also have a new update to maps. They have cycling directions, so you can use maps to get directions using bike lanes, paths, roads. You can also see the elevation if streets are busy, and if there's stairs, which I think is very important, especially if you're riding a bike. It'll give you the option to skip the stairs, or it'll show you where the stairs are, where you'll need to walk your bike up them. They even have an electric vehicle routing. I know EV is the way of the future, so being able to have this and have your route planned according to where you can charge your car is very important. Even though a lot of cars already have that integrated, the fact that this is something that is in Apple Maps now is pretty cool. There's a new Translate app, so you'll be able to have conversations with people in other languages. So you can tap the single microphone button in the center here, and it will allow you to have a conversation and translate back and forth between the languages. Siri, our dear friend Siri, who works, I'm not sure what the percentage is, but we'll just leave it at that. It has a new compact design, which I really like. So it'll show you when Siri is activated at the bottom. And then instead of entirely taking over your whole screen, much like the FaceTime calls, you'll get these little notifications up at the top where Siri is answering or giving you grocery lists. They showed a demo of this BMW car that you're able to unlock using NFC on your phone. And then you're able to set different keys for other people. So if Jenna wants to drive my car and I want to maybe limit her restrictions as far as what she can do and where she can go, I can assign her a key and then she can use her phone to unlock and start the car. And I think I need to get one of these BMWs to review. I think it's just, we need this. There's a new update to CarPlay, so you can change the wallpapers and different app types, which I'm kind of excited about this because I use CarPlay all the time when I'm driving, which hasn't been much lately because I've been stuck in the house for several months. But when I do start driving, I look forward to changing the wallpaper on my CarPlay. AirPods are also getting an update. You'll be able to use spatial audio. So it's using surround sound, but it's using the motion of the AirPod to detect like where your head is in the space of where this surround sound should be. This is cool too. So there's audio sharing for Apple TV. So you can connect 2 sets of AirPods to your Apple TV 4K. So you can enjoy movies and shows with your friends. Well, one friend, and not have to use the speakers on your TV. App clips is also something that's interesting. So a lot of times you'll be presented at a place like a coffee shop or trying to rent a bike or something, and you won't have the app that you need to use this item. So it's basically like a little NFC. So you can click it and it'll quickly pop up a notification and you can access whatever it is that you need to access from that app without downloading the entire app. There's a new privacy update as well in iOS 14. So it's giving you more control over the data that you share and more transparency into how it's used. I've loved using Sign In with Apple. They're going to be giving you the option to update some of your old accounts and synchronize them with Sign In with Apple. So you'll be able to have that privacy that comes along with that. Okay, what else did they talk about? There's so much stuff that happened in this keynote, I'm overwhelmed. There are also a bunch of new iPadOS updates. Some of them carry over from the iOS 14, but one of the things that I was most excited about was Scribble. This is an update to the Apple Pencil and iPadOS integration. This is really cool. So you won't actually ever have to put your Apple Pencil away because you can write by hand in any text field across iPadOS and the words will automatically convert to text. So you can convert your handwriting automatically in any type of text field and it'll convert it to text. This is so cool. Look at this. They have a scratch to delete. So if you make a mistake, you can just scratch out the text and it will delete it. There's so many cool things that they decided to integrate with this, like shape recognition. You can automatically turn a roughly drawn star into this beautiful masterpiece. I feel like if any of you guys have ever used Procreate or any type of drawing tools, something like this is fairly common. So the fact that they're integrating this right into Notes is really cool. There's built-in data detectors, so it'll recognize addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, and other data that is handwritten in text, and you can tap them to take action. So overall, they've done some cosmetic updates, kind of pulling from that whole iOS 14 world and just transferring it over to the iPadOS. You'll see that a lot of the experiences have been redesigned and streamlined. Also has the redesigned widgets, new app design, new search, and of course the compact calls. But man, Scribble. Hyped about Scribble. I can't wait to try out the new iOS 14 and the new iPadOS. I actually have them downloading on my phone and on my previous gen iPad right now, so look for a video coming up covering all of those a little more in depth. But now moving on to macOS, which they are calling Big Sur. macOS Big Sur, you know what that means? That means we're taking a road trip. We went to Catalina for the launch of Catalina last year, or 2 years, whenever. Oh my gosh, the time is flying. It was interesting while I was watching them do the demos and talk about everything because it really felt like it's a more robust version of iOS. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do, is make everything feel very seamless. Like you're going from your iPad to your Mac, back to your iPhone, and everything kind of feels like it's all in the same ecosystem. They've got all new streamlined apps, from full height sidebars to refreshed toolbars, a clean new app design. They've also got a refreshed dock. It's a sleek design, and this update makes getting to your favorite apps even easier. They have a new uniform shape for app icons, which adds consistency while letting the personality of Mac shine through. So I never really thought about it before, but look at all of these apps that I have in my dock right now. You can tell that they have sort of their own shape. So they're kind of bringing everything to be a more uniformed look. And you know what that look is? It looks a lot like iOS. These look just like the apps that you would click on your phone or your iPad. Here's the new control center for Macs. You can instantly access all of the controls that you use the most, like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, and all of these controls you can use to play music, enable dark mode for your display. The new control center will also let you drag your favorites to the menu so you can customize it, much like you do on what now? Oh, that's right, your phone, like the control center on your phone, like in iOS. There's an all new Safari. They've got some updates there, which is very exciting. You can customize the start page. There's Safari extensions in the App Store. So if you do have an extension that you've used previously, they now have a dedicated section in the App Store for Safari extensions. They also have an improved tab design. So if you are someone who uses tabs, which I definitely do. They have a new look, so this means that you can have more tabs visible at the same time. You can also hover over one of the tabs, and this will bring up an instant image of what that website is. So you actually be able to see what that tab is without having to actually click into it. Before you could only make your Memoji on your phone or your iPad, but now you can also make them on your Mac. The new redesigned Apple Maps will also be integrated into macOS, so you'll be able to take advantage of those. And also the new guides. This will allow you to discover new places to eat, shop, and explore with curated guides from brands you love. I think I want a curated guide. Since I used to travel a lot, there's so many amazing places that I've found on my travels that maybe I want to make a guide. I can. Look, it says you can create your own guide for your favorite places and share them with your friends and family. You guys are my friends. Some of you are my family. One of the biggest rumors is Apple transitioning away from Intel chips, and they said that they're going to be making this transition over the course of the next 2 years, but with the first Mac shipping with their new Apple chip by the end of this year.
Today is the day we're announcing that the Mac is transitioning to our own Apple silicon.
And the fact that they're going to be making this transition over the next 2 years is a pretty quick turnover. If you guys remember, Apple used to be using the PowerPC chips. They then went to Intel, and now many years later, they're deciding to take this all in-house and create their own chips themselves. And at one point in the keynote, Craig was like, hey,
I have a confession to make. This isn't the first time you've seen macOS running here. In fact, this is the same Mac that Beth and I used to demo all the new Big Sur features earlier.
So now that they'll be making these chips in-house, this will allow them to increase the performance, increase battery life, and really be able to fine-tune all of the things that they were not able to do before because they weren't actually making these chips. They'll be able to make them exactly how they need them and have them do exactly what they need to do. WWDC is a developers conference, and what's really cool is today developers will be able to apply for a Mac Mini so they can start preparing their apps for the new custom chip that Apple's creating. So this is really going to be exciting for them because they're going to be able to get this thing firsthand, start developing for it, and preparing all of the apps for this big change that is coming up. I mean, I remember I was kind of young, I guess. Let me see when it was. How old was I when they switched this over? Let's see. June 6th, 2005. Okay, so I guess I wasn't that young. I guess in my mind it felt like I was like 4, but I guess I wasn't. This was actually right before I started my YouTube channel, and I do remember what a huge deal this was. So now kind of reflecting on that, it's pretty incredible that now Apple is taking this all in-house. Last but not least, I'm surprised I didn't talk about this first, but it's the last thing that they have featured on their website, watchOS 7. Okay, first of all, we need to talk about this. There's a new hand washing app. Is it an app? But it says that it can detect the sound of water and the squishing of the soap, and it'll activate the hand washing feature. It'll let you know if you're washing your hands long enough. I hope this is something that I can share. Like, I would start an entire Twitter account for Justine washing her hands, so my watch would auto tweet every time I was, that's weird, but I would do it. There's a bunch of new watch faces. You can also share these watch faces, which is kind of cool, and they're calling it face sharing. So if somebody sees the watch face that I have right now, they're like, wow, I really like that. I can just press and hold and share it to them. You can also create faces in the App Store. So if I want to create a face and have it shared for the world, I guess I can do that as well. They now have a new sleep app, which is cool, but if I sleep with my watch on, when will I charge it? You can get a sleep chart. You can have your sleep tracking, so it uses the accelerometer to notice the subtle movements associated with breathing, and it will differentiate between sleeping and waking states. Fitness. They added a new dance activity. So I love tracking my fitness on my Apple Watch. I mean, since day one that they've integrated the fitness tracking in here, I feel like I've become a much healthier person because of it. Now you can have a dance workout. It's a full body workout that's good for your heart, makes you stronger, and improves coordination. So dance like nobody's watching and get credit for it on your watch. That's cool. They're changing the activity app to be called the Fitness app, which I think is kind of an interesting move because I know there are a bunch of rumors of Apple starting their own sort of fitness classes and fitness videos. So this would kind of be setting them up to roll those things out potentially in the future, which I think would be really cool. There is so much that Apple covered in WWDC, and even just looking at their website and going in and reading some of the notes further, there's a lot of stuff that they didn't even talk about in the keynote. So I look forward to covering some more of this very extensively. And as I said, I am downloading iOS 14 and the new iPadOS right now, and I'm most excited to test out Scribble. I'm gonna make a whole Scribble video. I have to. I can't wait. If there's anything that you would like me to make a video about more in depth, make sure you guys leave those in the comments below. And I will also see you guys in the Discord server. I made a WWDC section there. So I'll put a link in the description if you guys wanna check that out. That's it. See you guys later. Bye.